What happens if you stop posting on LinkedIn? Does the algorithm punish you? I needed to take a break, and here's what really happened. G'day everyone, it is Coach Michelle J. Raymond, your trusted partner for building your brand and your business on LinkedIn. And I want to talk about something that often causes people a lot of stress. What happens if you need to take a break and step away from LinkedIn? And that can be for any reason. It could be workload. It could be you go on some leave and want to travel. It could be you just are burned out and need to step away. There are so many different reasons for it. And all of them are perfectly valid and necessary and a part of life. And I know that for many people, they start to worry about, will the algorithm punish me? What will happen to my LinkedIn account if I step away? I know many people wonder about it, and I recently needed to take a short break from LinkedIn, and I wanted to come back to you and let you know exactly what happened, what I do about it, and, what was the outcome from taking that time away. I often think about, why are people so worried about taking a break on LinkedIn? And I think there's fears around becoming irrelevant, not being top of mind. Maybe it's getting out of the habit. You're afraid that you can't get back into it. That one's totally real. I understand that one especially. Gurus on the platform that you have to keep feeding the beast, and it's this never-ending cycle of there's never enough content. And that can be super overwhelming for a lot of people because they're driven to not disappoint even the algorithm. And so they keep going and they keep pushing themselves. And that leads to content creator burnout. And that is very, very real. I've been there. I've done that. There are some days when I would look at my keyboard and I would have 50 billion ideas and I wouldn't want to write any of them. I couldn't think straight. I knew I'd pushed myself too far and I needed to take a break. Now, in this particular case, I needed to take a break for some other reasons. And so I took, best part of a week and a half, 2 weeks off. I know it's not very much in the big scheme of things, but in my brain, obviously me being on LinkedIn and being a LinkedIn trainer, it is the source of leads for my business. So there is an element of fear that goes through my mind of, what if I don't keep doing this? What if I step away? What if? And sometimes your brain just goes into some crazy places and you think, I'm going to miss out on so much. FOMO is very much real because social media has been built on that. Like, our time on LinkedIn is no different. And it was really interesting for me to go through this and actually just step away from the platform. What actually happens when you step away from the platform? There's probably a couple of different things that I want to have a look at. The first thing is, to be honest, not a lot happens. I don't even think anybody noticed that I wasn't there, which, breaks my heart a little bit because I think, oh my God, I spend so much time making sure I'm always there. And was anybody going to send out a search party and come and find me? Now, of course, there would be some people in the background that would reach out and say, hey, Michelle, where are you? Because I've built up a lot of, close connections around the world who would come and check on me. But for the most part, I would say the majority of my audience has not even noticed, probably still thinks that I'm active on there because my personal brand has been built so strong from consistency that people still think that I'm around. When you think about the amount of content that I put out, we've got content that goes out via the company page. We've got content that goes out via the podcast company page. We've got Michelle J. Raymond LinkedIn profile's got content coming out. Not to mention the podcast, books, YouTube. I've got content that resonates and reaches people, not just on the platform, but elsewhere as well. I've got newsletters, like you name it. There's so much out there. And so for me, taking that little amount of time off, people still had so much content. If they really wanted it, it would find them or they could go and find it. So from that perspective, I've got the advantage that I built up a great portfolio that people could refer back to, and I've created a space for myself in people's LinkedIn brain so that they know to look out for me and keep an eye out if the algorithm serves up my content. And I create content that people enjoy, that they find useful and helpful, So when they come on, LinkedIn will serve my content to them because they know that they like it. So in a kind of weird way, LinkedIn looks after me. It says, you know what? We know you're not here, but we know your content keeps other people coming back. So we're going to help you while you're not on the platform. And I kind of like that idea. But ultimately, if I'm looking at my numbers and my notifications and all that kind of stuff, I've still got notifications coming through from content that I've created weeks ago that people are still viewing, that they're possibly catching up. Maybe they took a break. Maybe LinkedIn's now serving it up to them because they're back on the platform. You know, it is perfectly human, normal, and necessary for us to take a break from the platform for time to time. Now, from that side of things, I didn't notice any big shift in any of my numbers besides, of course, I would expect my reach and impressions to go down while I haven't been on here. But ultimately, when I get back on, it'll be just like when you learn to ride a bike, you just get back on and off you go. So I'm not worried about that in any way, shape, or form. So consistency, creating content before is helping me now. So, you know, I've got content that covers me while I'm gone. What are the advantages to taking a break on LinkedIn, and how do I think that that can actually help you more? After this quick word about our podcast sponsors, Metrical, I'm going to go into that. Listeners, here are the cool new tools from Metrical that make managing content so much easier. First up, never lose a content idea again. The post library feature helps with instant scheduling and idea management. Combine this with the Canva and Google Drive integrations, and it'll really streamline your processes. But did you know that when Metrical released their 2025 LinkedIn study, they found that LinkedIn polls are the least used format but achieve the highest reach. So the newest addition, the ability to schedule LinkedIn polls directly in their planner, is the absolute winner for me. This only scratches the surface of Metrical's capabilities, but I want you to be able to check it out for yourself. So I've arranged a special offer for listeners. Use code Michelle30 to test any Metrical premium plan free for 30 days. All the details and how to take advantage of this will be in the show notes. I really think that scheduling breaks is something that you should factor into your LinkedIn schedule. As somebody that has been creating content on LinkedIn for around 10 years now, I am absolutely certain that you do need breaks. They are so important. When you step away, and I'm talking about planned breaks, not when life throws you curveballs, but when you take these planned breaks, it gives you a moment to assess things. Some of my best ideas and my creativity always comes, no surprise, when I'm on holidays, when I'm not like running around, trying to keep up with Sydney life, trying to keep up with client life, trying to balance family and business and all the other things that life throws at you. But when I actually slow down, all the good stuff comes. So from that perspective, I think that alone should be a reason that people should never be scared about taking a break on LinkedIn. And I think that you get a fresh perspective, you get clarity around the goals that you have, you assess the things that are working and not working, and this is only going to bring upside long term and allow you to keep going as a creator. My break is something that has allowed me to almost take a breath and go, okay, let's assess this and see what we're going to do for the second half of this year, because we're one half down, we've got one half to go. I'm curious. Let me know. Are you doing the same thing? Is it a time of reflection and assessment for you right now, like it is for me? How can you step away without losing momentum? Well, that's, something else that's really easy to manage. We've got scheduling tools that we can use. So you can schedule posts within LinkedIn. But another great reason that I love Metrical is that if you have a planned break coming up, you can schedule your posts and plan them out into the future to cover you for the whole period that you're away. And that's exactly what Lil and I do in our business when we're going on our page advocacy tours and doing the travel around the world. She gets so much of our content scheduled out in advance. We can do the same thing for our clients. We never have to skip a beat, which is amazing, and something that, again, for my personal content, I'm always saying that I'm going to get better at it. I haven't quite nailed that yet. But ultimately, that's one way. So you can do it on LinkedIn, or you can do it within tools like Metrical, which is the one that I recommend. And you can also repurpose some of the old content that you've got. You don't need to create all new content. And again, Metrical's really amazing for this. We can take our old posts, which are still relevant today, and reshare them, in the future, because we're always getting new followers, people are joining us. Not everyone sees our content. So there's no worries at all in repurposing your content to save you time. Now, if you're someone that you can't get to creating content, you haven't scheduled anything, you might want to jump on and comment from time to time. But from that perspective, I still think having a clean break is a good thing to do. The world doesn't end. Honestly, it's LinkedIn at the end of the day, people. We're not doing heart transplants. It's kind of how I try and keep it in perspective about what we're actually doing. So there are a couple of ways that you can get around it. You could also just let your audience know that you're going away and not to expect your content. And they might wish you all the best. I would be surprised if it's not one of your most highest performing posts. Those of you who are paying for LinkedIn Premium, guess what you can do? You can go in and set an away message in your DMs so that if anybody sends you a message into your inbox on LinkedIn, they will automatically receive feedback to say when you're away and when you'll be back, just like an out of office that you would have on Outlook or any of your email services. So that's a super cool feature for those of you who are paying for premium. You might as well use it if you want to take some time off. And honestly, no one in your community will care. And it's the reality, and maybe a harsh reality, but at the end of the day, people expect you to take breaks. They want you to take breaks. They know you'll be back, and that is totally okay. So if you're someone that has been putting it off, that you're scared that if you step away, that your whole LinkedIn world will crumble down and everything you've been working on will be a waste, or you won't be able to get it back, or the algorithm will hate you, or anything else that your brain is telling you, I'm here to tell you, listeners, take the break. Nothing happens. There is nothing that you can't just get back on and start again. But I promise you, if you take the break, you're going to come back stronger than ever with better content, more clarity, and your community is going to feel that, and that's going to generate results. So if you are someone that needs to take a break, enjoy. Cheers.